Let me see if this is working. Testing. Alright, so we got excellent connections. Good deal. Make sure. Cool. Alright, peace, family, peace. We're about to get started in about, give me two to 3 minutes. Just trying to make sure everything's kind of set up and that we are good to go. This is going to be an important topic. Hopefully, this is actually very useful and beneficial to everybody. It's meant to get you in a state of mind where you know how to move forward, especially in this climate that we're in. And I'm trying to take, all the information and just kind of condense it in a short period of time. So obviously, I can't do that, because there will be a lot more and there'll be a lot longer, right? So give me about 2 minutes. Just want to make sure everything's squared away, and then we can get started with class. So let me make sure. Let's see. This is working. Let's see. Make sure I get everything set up. Okay, I'm about to minimize. I'm about to minimize me, so make sure y'all can see the screen. Y'all can see the screen, right? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see the screen. Y'all put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see the screen. Oh snap. Jada Pieces. Doing good. Dope. Okay. I'm about to stop that. Cool. I think we got everything. So can everybody see the screen? If you can, just let me know in the chat. Just put a 1. That way it's like legible. I want to make sure that this is legible and things of that nature. And you can hear me on the mic as well. So we'll get started on that. Cool. Make sure. Dope. Get 1 in the chat. Dope. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, cool, y'all. So these are the topics that we're going to be talking about. I know we've talked about some of the stuff before, but there's going to be some new stuff in there. The old stuff is like the banking survey, obviously. That's the stuff that we keep talking about because we do need just a couple of more, um, basically signatures and things of that nature, or just filling out the survey, and then we can actually get that process started, right? And then we're going to talk about some investment ideas and investment strategies. And then the real big topic, which is the mindset of being an Aboriginal part of the Shiamaru tribe. It's very important about how you go about it, your mindset. Mindset is everything, mindset is key. So this is how you're going to be either successful or you're going to be basically left behind, right? And then just prepare for changes in the economy, right? There's things that are happening, and I know everybody's aware of that stuff. But what are you actually doing to prepare for that, right? Because it's like right at your doorstep. And we've been talking about this stuff for years, so we're going to be talking about it again, but from a different perspective, okay? So, on that note, we're going to do the preamble. So, we the people of the Aboriginal Republic of North America, asserting our natural Aboriginal rights as the oldest recorded Aboriginal Indigenous peoples of the Americas, consisting of an Aboriginal union of Indigenous people living in accordance with natural law, the law of our ancestors, do hereby recognize all nationals of the Aboriginal Republic of North America as a unified community, establish our divine right to self-rule, the common defense of our nation, a complete unified will for progress and prosperity by and for our people, establishing justice by way of natural law and equality, and complete autonomy as a nation. So as you know, as a national, you need to know your preamble, and you also need to know your 12 general orders. I know y'all probably get tired of me talking about this stuff, but it's very important. This is how you're going to govern and structure your life. There's very, very simplistic principles that really make it easy for you to have actually put yourself in that Aboriginal mindset, right? So, and another thing, have you paid your dues? Make sure you stay up to date with your dues. Dues are obviously due at every November through December, every year, right? This is how we're able to know what's going to happen in the fiscal year for next year, the following year, right? So it's important to stay up to date with your dues. If you're having issues where you may need to request some type of plea or situation, please reach out to amarushiali@gmail.com or to the Drill Society and just have your case heard. But the idea is that $1 a day is going to get you $360, so you can be able to pay your dues, right? So keep that in mind. I know y'all spending a lot of money on other stuff, right? And just understanding the importance of what dues actually cover for, right? So we've talked about this before. And I know I like talking about this. So on that note, I know I've talked about this too as well as far as the banking survey. But please, if you have not done that already, go ahead and do that. You can go to hawabdfw.org. It's right on the homepage. You scroll down, click on the survey, fill it out, boom, you're done, right? And now let's get into the meat and potatoes, right? Let's talk about an investment strategy. Okay, so this is an investment that I think is worth looking at, right? I'll give you an example. There was a time where Nvidia was sitting at, I think it was like $18, and it paid dividends, right? In 2015. And then AMD was like $2 as well. Like, these were low prices. Now you can go see today where they sit at. And they're not at the same $2, $18 mark. Plus they've had, stock splits. So you got to understand that was then, and look at it now. Obviously, there's things that have changed as far as like the market and the climate, the climate of things. But the idea is that you want to make good investment strategies and good investments for the long term instead of the short term, because some of y'all want things to go boom quickly. Like, and it just, sometimes that happens, but most of the time it's really about patience, right? And just knowing exactly what it is that you're investing in. Now, Aurora Innovations Inc. This is a publicly traded company that you can get on the New York Stock Exchange, right? The reason why I'm even bringing this up is because if you understand what's happening, if you understand what is going on in technology, where things are headed to, especially in this universe that we're in, right? Things are being automated. Things are being done autonomously, like where there's no need for human control. So with Aurora Innovation, what they actually do is they actually have a software, right? They actually have a software that allows them to basically make autonomous vehicles, self-driving, on their own, right? From trucks to mobile vehicles to delivery goods, right? That's their focus, because we understand that Tesla has something already like that and is working with NVIDIA, and they already have that design, right? But their idea is, so for folks in the trucking industry, maybe this is something you may want to look into to incorporate into your trucks for the future, because you don't want to actually be left behind where you're actually having to have people who get tired, essentially at times, which is not a bad thing. But you also have something like that's self-autonomous, that's self-driving. So if they do get tired, you can put them on, they can go into self-driving mode and then go on autopilot, right? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because they've had several partnerships. Now, who's providing the hardware with their software and putting all this together? You wouldn't believe it. NVIDIA. Like NVIDIA, right? So understand that partnership already. And there's multiple partnerships that's taking place. That's just one of them, what I'm listing, right? So I want you to keep that in mind, right? So here's some of the other partnerships that they got. From PACCAR, which is, again, another big trucking player. Volvo, another big trucking player or just automotive customer. One of their first investors, Uber, Toyota. I mean, these are big names. Like, they're putting money into this company for a good reason, because they have something that is actually worth of value. So that's the actual investment opportunity. And then there's actual more. But I want to also point you to the team, right? So you got people from Google, right, who are chief executive founders, right, or information officers. You got folks who came from Micron, Uber, Tesla, VMware, Amazon. Even Amazon has invested in this company. So they have stake in this company too, to make sure that it succeeds. And I bet you it was this person right here who made that happen. And so you got folks from Intel, Apple. So you can already understand that they have a pretty solid team. And this is just me pointing out, looking at observations and things of that nature, right? The other thing that we want to let me make sure I finish that. But hopefully that makes sense as far as like what the actual opportunity is. The actual software, hardware being installed in trucking, automotive devices, or mobile van vehicles, or even just um, uh, taxi moving, vehicles, right? Or automotive vehicles, right? That's the idea. That's the idea. So again, it's sitting at a low price of $3. It might be less than that from when I'm talking about this, but it's something that's worth looking into, because long-term wise, everything is being automated. That is what's being done right before our very own eyes. Things are being automated. And we've talked about this before, how no job is safe. None. Right? Because things are getting automated. So that's one thing that I want to encourage everyone to just look into. Now, the other thing that I would encourage people to look into is a blockchain investment. The actual company is VAI, right? That's the ticker symbol. Less than a penny right now. Now, the idea behind this company is that they're an intelligence service powered by like AI. It's like an AI powered software, right? And it regulates digital assets. So whether you're selling your house, whether you're selling your car, this AI system is going to be able to do that transaction and assist that person throughout that process. And guess who it is developed by? Like in cooperation with it. IBM. And IBM has been in this space for a long time. If you did not know, that's who's developed the digital passport, right? For some of the, a couple of the jabs, right? So that's something to keep in mind. And the way that this software is being ran right now with this AI software, pretty freaking intelligent. So you can go to the site, see it for yourself, but that's just something that I think everybody should think into. So look at the use cases for it. Legal assistant, protection broker, or maybe a litigator, or a merchant. That's basically a sales assistant. Like, these are things that are the use cases for this that are being done right now. Like, this is not something that's like far out in the future. They're doing it right now. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is look at the people who are partners into this company. Obviously, IBM, Chainlink. Chainlink is a big thing. Um, so that's something that you want to put that in your mind. Downmaker, Orange Chain. These are just some of the things that are worth looking into. Now you can do whatever you want. Obviously, I've done what I've done, but it's worth looking into because again, this is part of the strategy moving forward of what you need to do as far as like putting different resources to work, right? Because the way things are going with the Federal Reserve and what they're doing, mismanaging the finances, talking about oh, it was transitory inflation, but now okay, wait a minute, it's finally inflation. So it's like they're playing games with the whole world's currency because everything is pegged to the dollar for the most part. And so so you want to put certain things in place so that you're not caught blindsided because things are moving pretty quickly. So hopefully that makes sense, and how you can actually. I think there was another thing is that you can actually stake this. You can actually stake the VIE token. So that's another way that not only just buying it, but then you can stake it and make passive income off of that. And the easiest way to do that is buy it from whether it's KuCoin, taking that, putting it onto your VIA wallet, using Ethereum as a gas fee to transfer it from KuCoin to your VIA wallet, and then from there you can connect it. Whether I wouldn't recommend MetaMask, but definitely Wallet Connect, Coinbase Wallet, or however you want to go about it. But it's that simple. It's really not that difficult. I know I keep talking about that. Blockchain is really here to stay, and there's a lot of different things that are happening on the back end that are worth noting that government officials are doing. So it's just something to think about. Again, understand that a lot of these cryptos are not going to be here to stay, but some will be. So now the Aboriginal mindset. This is important, y'all. And I'll get into some of the principles, but the idea is that we go through things in life and we have a particular mindset of what we would do. So let's say you're like you're seeing in the picture, you're sick, you're ill with your health. You're like, man, I need to go to the doctor. Well, whose doctor are you gonna go to? You gonna go to the hospital down the street, or you gonna call your Aboriginal doctor, right? You got Chief Ali, you got Dr. Shira. I'm obviously studying health. There's other people who are studying health as well. But the idea is that you want to change your mindset of, okay, I know a couple of doctors and maybe they're not in the area or maybe they are in my area. I should call them, pay them a service or pay them the time because they have the skill and knowledge and expertise to actually solve my problem and provide remedy, right? And based off of, the things that you've been studying from the rites of passage videos, you have a base knowledge so you know that either they know what they're talking about or they don't, right? So you don't get kind of like swindled or bamboozled. But that's some of the principles. It's just like, who are you going to? Are you going to go to Walmart and pick up a Xanax or or some cough syrup, or are you going to your Aboriginal doctor and say, hey, can I pick up a tincture from you so that I can actually utilize it for the remedy that I need because there's something that I'm going through, right? Like cure all, or maybe the vaccine to detox, things of that nature, or the sweeper, just different things. But that's the idea. So you got to have an Aboriginal mindset about your health, point blank and period, right? So keep that in mind, right? What about an emergency, right? You're like, oh my God, I got a flat tire. What do I do? Well, you can call either your local minister or you can call a hotline, right? Wherever in your local area, right? There might be a hotline in your local area. That should be the thing that comes to your mind because I guarantee you that maybe you might find yourself where there's nobody is around and you got to have somebody to call on to, right? Like that's the idea is that, okay, am I going to call somebody that, may help me? Am I going to call family that may or may not help me? Or family will always help in certain cases, but sometimes you're in a tight spot, right? So the idea is that, okay, who can I call? And it's just changing the mindset. You got to change your mindset instead of, well, let me just call somebody that, I don't know, right? Change your mindset. Mindset of town. You're like, oh man, where can I live where it's a owned Aboriginal town. Well, you got Sun Village, right? You can call at Mayor Answer, right? Maluga, Q, all of them, right? Like, we have these remedies in place. Like, so it's like, if you wanted to do that, that should be something that you think about. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that there's an actual Aboriginal town that's in our jurisdiction. Oh, let me just go over there, and if that's what I really want to do, and also provide assistance and things of nature, and also get certain benefits, right? That's the idea, is that let those things be the first thing that come to your mind instead of going somewhere else, right? That's just the whole point of having the Aboriginal mindset. Police. There's a protocol in your protocol manual of how to handle police and interacting with the police. No, you're not going to be going up and like, yo, I know, blah, blah. You start yelling at them like you ain't got no sense. No, you talk to them in a calm, polite way, and if things get hostile, you obviously first thing you call. Call either the HQ hotline or you call the local hotline in your area. If you're in, HAWAB, DFW, you can call the hotline number, right? Or you can call the local ministers, right? That's the whole point, is that you have somebody you can call that will pick up, to be a witness, to be there, to make sure that you stay calm, that you're guided, that you're safe, because things do happen. They busted down people's windows, they're unbuckling people's seatbelts by force. I mean, stuff like that, and we need to be able to be present so that we know exactly what to do, right? Or we know what happened. That's the whole point. Instead of, oh my God, I don't know what to do, and then you're on your own and you're just, I don't know, going off of emotion. You're not following protocols because you don't have somebody on the phone that can keep you calm and remind you of the protocols and what to do and what to say and just things of that nature. Like, these Aboriginal mindset. That's the whole point. Who are you gonna call first, right? Mindset of credit. Y'all listen. I don't know what y'all doing out here, but y'all need to get the credit right. Like, we have experts, we have people who've been doing this for years, right? You need to get out of the poor or medium section. Like, you need to be having excellent credit, like in the 700s. Like, you see that right there, the 766. That's mine, right? And that's just only because I had a couple of inquiries that I'm doing for the next move, right? That's the whole point. So understand that you need to know, okay, if I'm having credit issues, okay, instead of just going to some random, company that I don't know, oh yeah, there's people in the tribe. There's people in the tribe that actually know how to do this stuff and get remedy in real time. Let me call on them and see if they have the bandwidth, or maybe they have the time, or maybe they have the availability to carry out the service. That's the whole point of this, right? And obviously I'm hitting different ministries, but that's the whole point, is that you don't have to go anywhere else. And obviously there's certain exceptions, but the whole idea is that your mindset. Some of y'all have already known that you need to fix your credit, but you haven't. You're waiting too long when you want to do something, get something, or get a particular business credit, card, or business credit loan, and they deny you because you got poor business credit, or maybe you're trying to get a loan or a mortgage, excuse me, and you have poor personal credit. And you're like, damn, I should have worked on it. Yeah, you should have worked on it, right? But instead of going somewhere else, think of, oh, I know who to go to, right? And there's plenty of people who do this. These are just examples, right? To get you thinking, right? You're about to have a baby, or you're planning to have a baby, or you want to have a baby. Okay, you got people right here in the tribe who know what they're doing, right? These are people you should be thinking of. That these are the first people that come to my mind, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. Let me go to them, right? The exquisite midwife, Aima. I shall birthing. Like, these are things that, like, oh yeah, how could I forget? Let me go to them, pay them, because I know, and they are well trusted. They know what they're doing. They make sure that they are on top of it, right? That's the whole point. Stop thinking that you have to go to these hospitals, go into these facilities, and that they're going to make sure that they take care of you, because they're going to screw you. They really are. And that's the whole point that I think a lot of people are missing, is because what ends up happening, what if something does happen? Well, you've waived your rights by coming to their facility and by signing a waiver, because they always force you to sign a waiver. So what do? You put yourself in a binding position. And then you can get tested for COVID, and they do stuff that you didn't even give consent to, but you already did by signing your waiver of rights to receive medical treatment. And plus, you're at their facility. So what are you gonna do, right? So keep these things in mind. These it's just, again, Aboriginal mindset, right? Aboriginal mindset. Maybe you need to find somebody. How can I find somebody? How can I, I need to look for somebody. I need information on somebody. Where do I need to go? Like, we have private investigators within the tribe that can get you your remedy, find a particular person, and things of that nature. Like, this is not even a question. Like, we do this stuff all day, every day. So it's just, again, putting you in that mindset that you have people you can call on. Maybe you want to develop some type of media, right? You're like, man, you can call on, Dreamers Edge Foundation, maybe Mastermind Comics. These are just Aboriginal Global Media. I mean, these are just different examples, right? That, oh yeah, this person in the tribe is actually in this space. And there's plenty of more people. Again, these are just examples to put you in the mindset, right? That, oh yeah, these people deal with this. I don't have to go outside unless there's a particular thing that I'm trying to get, and then I can bring it back in, and then boom, I can distribute it within the tribe. That's the whole point, right? Is who is the first thing that comes to your mind? Somebody outside the tribe or within the tribe, right? So just keep that in mind. Same. Oh, I think this was wrong. Let me change that real quick, y'all. This is the same thing. So as far as like rappers, right? Or just hip hop artists. Hip hop. Let me put that in there. So you got Jaw Bricks. You got Shotty. I mean, there's plenty of people. There's plenty of people in the tribe. Again, these are just examples. You're like, who can I, if I needed to have somebody make a song or create a song, who can I call on to actually get it done within the tribe? And, we can work together and collaborate and follow a vision, right? Like, these are people you can call on to get things done and make things happen. This is just the whole point, right? That you don't have to go outside if it's not necessary. Obviously, you can always collaborate and things of that nature outside, but again, it's just the Aboriginal mindset. So I know these are just examples, but I'm actually going to get into the details soon. Aboriginal mindset on love. You're like, yo, who do I call on? If I'm having relationship issues, or maybe I need some assistance, with directions with my love life, or just myself in general. You got Bach, you got Yogi, you got Powhatan, you got Ken. These are people who have, taken the course, certified and things of that nature. I know a little bit about it. Again, not certified, but I can make my way around it, right? But the whole point is that you have somebody you can go to receive counseling. Whether you have, some challenges personally. It doesn't even have to just be strictly love, but this is just an example. Like, maybe there's an issue that you're having internally with yourself, and maybe you need some counseling. Maybe you need some coaching. You have people in the tribe that have your best interests, they care about you, and they're not going to give out your information, right? So that's the whole point, is who comes to mind first. Though we, maybe some of us don't do well at marketing, but that's the whole point, is that, okay, how can I put them in my mind so I don't have to go anywhere outside and expose myself to things that may not be warranted? And so, just kind of to wrap up the Aboriginal mindset portion of it, it's all about mindset. From the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you rest your head at night. Everything is up to you, your emotions, your thoughts, your perceptions, and your reactions. Your mindset determines the direction of your life. Point blank, period, right? That's how you develop habits. That's how you develop routines. That's how you develop your future. That's how you do everything. Everything is your mindset, because that's your subconscious mind that you've programmed to do and behave in a certain way. And plus, there's other things that we'll talk about as well. So just put that in your mind. Put that in your mind. So how do we actually get there? How do we get the Aboriginal mindset? How do we get the ultimate Aboriginal mindset? Well, we got to change our health. We got to have different, diet lifestyles. Point blank and period. Everybody knows what they should be eating in 2022. Like, if you still eating Skittles, if you still eating Snickers, if you still eating, hot Cheetos, drinking milk in 2022, I'm telling you, you're doing yourself a disservice. There's no reason for you to be doing that because you know how badly it is on the body. It is horrible, right? So just doing the little stuff every day, getting up early, walking, breathing, relaxing, managing your stress, getting some watermelon. I mean, like, oh man, hold on, like, like I found this goddamn watermelon, like for real, like, there's things that you want to do, like, in order to improve your lifestyle in general. Getting some sun, y'all, it's summertime. Get some sun. Get some goddamn sun. Another thing is just working together with each other. It doesn't have to be an individual. It shouldn't be. We should work more together with each other cohesively, and just collaborate more. Share and promote each other. I know people are already doing that already, but we just got to continue that. Keep that going. We need to improve on how to go to market. Some of us don't know how to promote and do creative ads, creative marketing. It's not just, oh, here's the service, bye. Like, you gotta get a little creative. Like, when you hear da 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 da, you already know what I'm talking about. I ain't even gotta say it. But that's the whole point. They've marketed it so much, like, to the point where it's like, okay, I'm tired of seeing it. Then we also need to improve our customer service and how we treat people, how we execute services and things of that nature. And then we just need to create better habits. And we'll talk a little bit about that in the next one. And I know some of y'all already know. You know what you have to do. And I know some of y'all think y'all don't have the strength to do it. But you do. It all starts with the diet, right? So, things that we need to work on. Laziness. Y'all, I'm telling y'all cannot be lazy. I tell y'all, I'm seeing people who just chilling right now and just, I'm like, y'all, you need to be busy. And I'm not busy in the sense of where it's not productive. Like, be productive with your time. Like, stop being lazy. If there's something you can get done, get it done. Don't put it off. Don't procrastinate. And then just working smart and efficient, being efficient and just working smart. It's important to do that stuff because you'll waste a lot of time by not being efficient. And that's part of the Aboriginal mindset that I'm trying to get y'all to understand, that this is, maybe I'm yelling at y'all, but I am in that, that Saturn is where I hang out, which is structure, discipline, and things of that nature. But y'all have to, like, get y'all's inner mind discipline, y'all's inner flesh discipline, because if you find yourself being lazy, just laying around, knowing that you need to be doing something, knowing that you're sleeping at your mama's couch, knowing that you're sleeping at your mama's house, or your brothers or your friends that, or whatever, you're sleeping on the street, you're not working, you're not doing anything productive, you're just taking up space and oxygen. That's not healthy, y'all. So we have to improve on that. Honesty. Being honest with yourself, being honest with people you interact with. Honesty is going to be very critical on just how clear your vision is, how clear you are, and what you're doing. Because if you're very delusional and you're not even seeing what's happening, you can find yourself in a bad, nasty situation because you continue to put yourself in this box of illusion. And we keep doing this stuff to us that we're not even honest with ourselves. That, yo, brother, you know what? You work too damn hard. You should probably think about relaxing at least one day and have some fun. Nah, I need to work all the time. That sounds like dysfunction right there, right? And that's coming from me because Queen of Hearts dysfunction, Ten of Spades dysfunction is overworking. So I have to be mindful of that, right? So I have to be honest with myself. Am I working too hard that I'm putting a lot of stress on myself? Yes. Then I need to relax and have fun. And that is just, it comes with just understanding yourself, understanding your cards, and just getting that experience with yourself. That's the whole point. Hard. You need to do communication. Communication. Whether it's dealing with people that you are involved with, whether that's clients, whether that's family, whether that's people in the tribe, you need to have that communication with people. You need to make sure it's honest, and you need to make sure that it's just and that it makes sense, right? and just communicate. I know all these things we all can do better, right? Nobody's 100%, right? If they were 100%, man, let me study. let me let me see how they pull it off, right? That's where my mind goes, not just, oh, you bullshit. No, 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 no. I'm gonna say, oh, let me figure out how they do it, right? That's the whole point. But we just need to be able to communicate, and we need communication goes whether it's dealing with clients, whether it's marketing, to people to tell people what it is that we're bringing to the world. So keep those things in mind. Resolving problems as a family. Um, keep that in mind because you don't want to be coming at like just that. like we, this is not. We're not the United States. We're the Shiamara tribal government, right? We operate differently, and the whole root is family. Like that's the most important thing is having healthy, productive families. Um, I can't say any more than that. Bring solutions per problem that you spot. Instead of just saying, "Oh, we need an airport." I'm like, "Yo, yeah, you're right. How are we gonna get there? Do you have solutions that you can bring? Oh, we need a shoemaker, or we need this, we need that. Okay, you're right. So do you have any suggestions, solutions for us to get there? Do you have a plan? Right? It's important because people talk all the time, but your actions need to back up what it is that you're spotting in. So the whole idea is just bring solutions. Bring solutions. Commitment. You need to be committed. Committed to the process. Committed to growing. Committed to all these things. Like it's not short term. This is a long term. The mindset is a forever mindset, and it's ever changing, right? So I don't have to even speak much on that. The other thing is getting skills that pays or is valuable. I know some of y'all may think oh, man, I got a whole bunch of skills. I know a lot. I got everything. I have all the skills in the world. And it's like, okay, are you getting paid for that? Like, if you have skills that are valuable that pays, you should be paid for those skills. Not just, maybe it's a useless skill. And it's like, no. You need skills that pay. And we'll go into why you need to have skills that pay or that's of value because things are heating up around the world. So these are things that I think need to work on as far as the Aboriginal mindset, right? So let's move on to the next thing. I know that was kind of long, but I promise I'll wrap this up for y'all. So Aboriginal mindset. I know y'all thinking that y'all don't believe me. You're like, that was a lot, brother. You talking a whole lot. Don't believe you. But I promise you, if you do this day by day, little by little, it's like consuming a whole bison, but you're consuming it in small chunks, right? Because it's gonna be hard to digest that bison in a whole bite. Just instead consume it in bites. So, okay. So what the future is looking like, right? I know probably some of y'all have seen this stuff already. Yeah, I know y'all seeing a lot of people are risking their lives, risking their health for some BBLs. It's crazy. Don't do it. Don't do it. I promise you, there's doctors in the tribe that can get your body looking the way that it needs to look. You can get the books, the materials, and you can do it yourself, right? Because I promise you, people are getting so weird to the point that you see this robot right here. See these robots in the background, the skin, the flesh, and all. Look, it's getting to the point where people are already complacent with this machine. They're like, oh shit, when that thing gonna be official? So it's a sex robot. Like I saw this film. I forget what the name of it was, or a show, and it was basically about sex robots. And I'm like, damn, this shit is coming. Here you go, right here. So the idea is that some of y'all may think, and I'm again not the folks in ARNA, but it's just maybe this is a shot at the direct public. But you may be thinking, oh, I just need to get all fixed up, get my boobs done, get my, my butt done, and then, I can start raking in all this money, which is true, right? You're going to have some people who are going to be willing to pay you all this money, right? But the idea is that, look, there's people who are looking to get away from that. There's people who are willing to settle for, like I told you. Look how happy this man looked right here at this machine. He's like, damn, there's some things I could do with that. But let me just keep a professional face. But this is what I'm talking about, right? So this is what the future is looking like. And I know we talked about this before, but just keep that in mind. Global food crisis looms as fertilizer supplies dwindle. Now, we've talked about this before, that how Bill Gates has been buying up all the land. I think he's the largest farmland owner. And they talking about foods, fertilizers is dwindling. But that's most likely it's their nitrogen soil. And keep in mind, we don't have to utilize that. We can utilize volcanic ash, or volcanic rock, right? Azomite, all these different things that we can tap into that has been proven to work, right? We don't have to guess at it. We know it works. And then it also talks about that Yara says that the world faces extreme food supply shock. Hopefully y'all been preparing. Like I'm telling y'all, like this shit is about to get crazy. But you're developing your Aboriginal mindset, so you understand that you're not going to go into this fear mindset, but you're just going to prepare yourself in case things do get, in a awkward spot. That's the whole point, right? Because there's things that they're always telling us. They're like, oh yeah, food supply shortage, this, that, and third. It's okay, right? People have been saying this stuff for 8 years, and it's the economy is due for a nice little correction, nice little reset, and there's people who are planning that already, right? We're talking about the Great Reset. So anyway, let me not even go into that. They probably blocked this video. So keep that in mind. And then look what from Malaysia to India. How are export bans on chicken, wheat, sugar? Like they banned that export. Like even though we don't even dabble in that. But that's the look at what's happened. So understand that if they're affecting these crops, they're definitely affecting the organic stuff, right? They're affecting the stuff that we eat, right? So just keep in mind of what's taking place, like global tightness, and it's because of a particular organization, a non-profit organization, the Federal Reserve, right? So let's keep talking. Let's keep going, right? American trust in government near historic lows. Bank of Canada sees housing markets slow down as healthy. These are things that are being discussed, right? So we cannot be wasting the opportunity for certain things that we see before us. And we'll talk about that as far as what you can do. But the idea is that this is what's being talked about, y'all. Like, don't play yourself now. Seriously, do not play yourself. And then MasterCard launches the Smile to Pay. Do you know how many people about to go crazy, go broke, go get their money stolen? This is what's happening. Using biometrics to pay for things. This is stuff that they've been talking about for a long time. They talking about putting a chip in your body, putting sensors in your eyes. Now they got something where they use your face and you smile to pay. Bro, stuff that you see in the movies where they knock somebody out and then they move their eye to open up, or they move their face, or whatever the case is. This is stuff that is it's taking place, right? It's already here. Brace yourself, right? So just keep that in mind. So this is what's happening right now. I know everybody's seeing it. Inflation should be controlled by the Federal Reserve. Should be managed. That's their sole job, and they're doing it poorly. And they're doing it on purpose. This is not something that it's happening by accident or coincidence. This is on purpose, y'all. And they know that the U.S. dollar is pegged to goddamn everything. And it's affecting everybody. Everybody's feeling the heat. Everybody's feeling this pressure. Everybody's feeling yo, I ain't got no money, or I ain't got no funds. So what am I going to do? Some of y'all are going to go homeless if there was one major medical situation or car issue or whatever situation. It's going to just take one thing, and some of y'all are going to be wiped out and homeless. or living at your mama's place. And I don't want y'all to be there. So that's why we talked about the Aboriginal mindset, and then we're going to get into what we can actually do, right? So I'm just telling y'all what's happening. And y'all already know it. Y'all already are feeling it. Everybody's feeling it. So I know y'all feeling these gas prices, right? Y'all feeling these food prices. Y'all seeing these, foods is not really at the same price that they used to be. They've doubled. Y'all seeing gas double. I mean, listen, this is what's happening. So what are you doing about it? Look what they're saying. Stagflation rises. Sharp slowdown in growth. We haven't grown in the United States for a long time. The World Bank says most countries are heading into a recession. So that's the other word. I don't want y'all to focus on the word recession, but just be aware that that's what's happening. Like, words mean things. Words can guide your mindset into a particular place. Wherever energy goes, wherever your mindset goes, energy flows. Or wherever energy goes, your attention goes, right? That's the whole point. Wherever attention goes, energy flows. So you're putting a whole lot of attention on recession. Oh my God, I need recession. You may just experience a horrible recession or whatever this. We're already in a particular spot, like I keep telling you. The idea is that, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Look at what this man has done. Signs off an order for government oversight over cryptocurrencies. This is an order that he signed. This man has been signing orders left and right. I'm telling you, this thing is crazy. So when I keep telling people that, cryptocurrencies, blockchain technologies, there is a place for them. Now, which one it will be? I'm not here to guess at it. But I'm going to put my bid in certain things. That's just it. Right? So keep that in mind. Now, there's another thing that's happening, too, that was talked about in 2021, which is the common sense gun control law, right? I know y'all been seeing all these hits, these mass shootings, Philly, Chattanooga, South Carolina, Texas, all these places. And they keep happening. Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they keep happening. Now, why are they being pushed to the forefront of news and stuff like that? It's to get y'all in the state of fear, state of worry. Remember, if they get your attention, that's where your energy is going to flow. And you're going to flow into this scared mindset. And we cannot be there. Because if they do that, that's how they have control. And what they want to do, they want to control all the guns. They're like, guns are dangerous. No. What you're doing is putting plants and causing chaos. Don't act like you don't put plants, create situations and things of that nature. Because you do. Governments do that. Right? So that's also what's happening. And I just want y'all to be aware of that. So let's talk about actionable stuff. Save and invest and prepare. These are the 3 words. It's really that simple. So some of the things you need to do is, do you have enough currency reserve somewhere? Are you developing new skills to earn a little bit extra? Or just developing new skills that are going to be valuable to people that are willing to pay you a service, or whatever the case is? Are you starting multiple businesses at the same time where you're developing your new skills? Sorry. Are you watching your spending habits? Do you have multiple accounts to access funds, both in cash or digital? This is stuff that's important. It can't just be one way, right? It can't just be, all my money's under a mattress. Okay, what if happens that mug go to 0? Or go to, it's just, anyway. Or all my money's in the bank. Okay, well, what happens if you can't access your money in the bank? Then what? You asked out because they can't do that. They've done that in Canada before, where they've shut down the banks. They're like, you can't access your money. So you don't want to put yourself when you're in a bad position. You need to have both accessible, right? Are you taking some of your earnings, your extra earnings, and investing into different things, such as real estate, stocks, digital currencies, life insurance, private companies, all these different things? These are things you need to be doing to do that. Are you in some type of economic group? I know within HAWAB Region 6, we have an economic group. But the idea is, are you doing that? Are you participating in economic groups, learning, studying, and things of that nature so you can invest? Do you have emergency food, y'all? Do you have extra water reserves? Do you have some type of power source? Do you have extra lines of credit? Some of y'all don't even have extra lines of credit in case of an emergency. In case something that you need to do is just like, let me swipe a business credit card to pay for this because, like, I don't know what's about to pop off. Some of y'all don't even have that, and that goes into the save, the preparedness, and things of nature. Are you getting yourself some extra ammo and firearms, right? Are you grabbing seeds, practicing agriculture? Are you starting indigenous businesses? Are you building your skills? I go back to building skills. Are you building your skills? Because it's true. Are you building your skills? Because you cannot be going into 2022 without skills. I'm telling you. Okay? And are you hedging against inflation? I know some of you have seen this slide before. But it's true. This man used to be 50 cents. Now he's 25 cents. I'm telling you, it's real. Inflation is real. So, things you can do. Real estate, getting hard assets, getting land, buying some land, developing the land, putting maybe a duplex on it, and then renting it out or Airbnb-ing it. Getting tech stocks. Remember what we talked about. You can get some top ones and you can get some ones that are maybe a little bit high risk. Having dry powder, meaning money. Do you have extra currency? Do you have extra energy? Gold and silver, cryptocurrencies. Eliminating your debt, basically. Reducing your debt. Right? Digital real estate. Are you tapping into your e-commerce store? Or building e-commerce stores? YouTube channels. Social media channels. Things of that nature. These are digital real estate. That's how you can hedge against. And these are different skills too. Right? So, life insurance. Y'all, I know I've shown this before, but for real, y'all should go look into this. Because in case something does pop off, you are basically your own bank and you can borrow X amount to do whatever it is you need to do, whether it's invest into a business, invest into a house, whatever. And it won't count against you, it just goes against the total policy that you have. So you can do whole life with that actually builds interest or has dividends that pay to it. Those are the things you want to look at. And then you can have a simple term life policy that doesn't expire, even though it's past 50 years or 30 years. All you have to do is just continue to make payments. And you don't have to get tested again, right? You don't have to get your health check and things of that nature. You just do it one time and you're good. It's better to do it now than when, and again, as if you have the Aboriginal mindset, your health should be good anyway, right? The idea is that you're taking another vehicle and it's something that you can use to leverage to help the next generation coming forward, right? The idea is it's not about you, it's about your legacy. It's about what you're going to do moving forward and what you're going to leave behind. And this is stuff that you can do right now. Like, you get permanent life insurance, right? You get permanent whole life term. These things pay you dividends. And you don't want to get them from they may say something about this, but State Farm. No, you're going to be paying a whole lot of money for a 30-year term or a 20-year term, and then you got to reapply. And it's like, wait, hold on now. It doesn't accrue interest? What's the point? Exactly my point. What's the point? And you can't withdraw for that. If I want to withdraw, then I have to pay a higher premium. It just doesn't make sense. The idea is that you want to beat it. You want to beat inflation. You want to beat recessions. And this is the best way to do it. Right? These are different strategies. So how do you prepare? These are just some skills to tap into the 2025 and beyond. Right? Cloud computing, big data analyst, Internet of Things, 3D and 4D printing. That stuff is huge. We've talked about this too at the powwow, at the Aboriginal powwow. Artificial intelligence, robots, like you saw that sex doll, man. Quantum computing, humanoids, robot humanoids, power storage, and prevention. Like these are skills that matter, technologies that matter, tech space. That's where it is. I mean, this is a whole crazy metaverse that's being created, right? And it's getting crazy, crazy, crazy. But the idea is that you want to take these skills and build it within your jurisdiction, your household, within the tribe, That way it protects you and your family, and then, people value those skills, and you can get paid as a consultant or whatever the case is, right? That's the whole point. Start thinking about these skills. Underwater basket weaving. Listen, y'all. I don't know who that's gonna pay. I'm sure it'll pay somebody. If you're doing a YouTube channel or whatever. But listen, y'all. You need skills that are valuable to people. Okay. And you have to understand the differentiation between needs versus what's not a necessity. A lot of things that are not a necessity, for a good example, is like entertainment. A necessity, health, legal, all these things. Food, those are necessities. Land, real estate, house. People need to live somewhere. When you're talking about like entertainment in general, right? That's like a luxury. Those are things that are luxurious things. They're not a necessity. So you want to also, if you want to get into those spaces, make sure that you have multiple skills that are a necessity that can help make sure that you don't go homeless or you don't bust. Like that's the whole point. Aboriginal mindset. I keep going back to that because there's a whole theme behind this. I may be dragging this on, but there's a lot of material. But I'm about to be done. So another way you can prepare. Everybody should have a website. Y'all, it is 2022. You should have a website, and that website should be generating some form of revenue. I don't care. Like, it should be doing that. You can do it using Shopify. You can go to all these different platforms to build a store. But the idea is that simplicity is the key. Simple, the better. You can create a store that has maybe online mentorship. You can start a social media agency. You do fulfillment. You do. I don't dabble in the affiliate marketing, but I do have affiliate marketing links and a whole. Anyways, that's the point. You can even do, some of y'all who are, maybe you're 17, while you're getting your study on and you're on your phone, you can play some mobile games and get paid for that too, right? But we want to be mindful that we want to make sure that we're building skills while we're playing games too, right? That's important because you could get paid to build a whole metaverse for a multi-billion-dollar company. That's a skill that's useful because they're looking into that stuff, right? So keep that in mind. The other things that you can do to prepare: blogging on your website, selling stuff on Etsy, being an eBay seller, being a YouTuber, social media manager, writing a book, consulting, writing, grant writing, graphic design, pet care, cleaning service, tutoring, photography. I mean, or any type of special skill. So, being a tribal doctor, being a cosmologist, being a jurist, all these different things these are different skills that you can learn at Aboriginal University, right? And get credentialed at, so that you can build your autonomy, your autonomy and your economy. And these are stuff that you can do. Like, if you wrote a book, you could get checks for that. Like, all you have to do, set it up right, put it on your website, put it on, Amazon, put it on, all these different distributing platforms. You can get paid. I know I've talked about this before, but seriously, you can get paid for that. Like, and especially if it's valuable information. That's the important thing, is that it needs to be valuable. Handyman services. That, AC goes out, who you gonna call, right? Hopefully you're gonna call somebody who's in, the nation to, help you out, and you will pay them for their service, for their skill. There's no such thing as something for nothing, y'all. So keep that in mind. Some of y'all, that's not an Aboriginal mindset. That is of a leech. You want to make sure that you pay somebody their time and that they're of their value of what they're bringing to you. That's something we have to be mindful of and make sure that we're not doing that, right? So hopefully that makes sense. You know what you need to do. So now at this point, you just got to go do it, right? So I know it was a lot of information, but again, you can always watch this video again. But the idea is that hopefully you get where I'm coming from about the Aboriginal mindset. So there's different things you can do. There's different things you need to prepare for. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening. And I know I'm like, this is stuff you need to be thinking about and doing. So there's different things that you can get involved with at the different institutions within the HAWAB DFW area. We have a Telegram group. We have meetings. Obviously, we have meetings that we do, whether it's in live or online, and just things of that nature. So keep that in mind. And also, if you have a business or a skill that you want to get listed, reach out to hawabregion6@gmail.com, and we can certainly see if we can get you added to the site so that you have another place of revenue being driven to your website or whatever the case is, right? So, on that note, I'm done. I know that was a lot, but hopefully that was of value to y'all. The idea is that, listen, y'all, you need to prepare. You need to get yourself situated. There's practical stuff that was in those slides, especially some of the investment stuff. I know some of y'all may be thinking like $3 or less than a penny. Like, but what if it actually does something? Like, you always have to keep that in mind. Like, what if it actually does something? I've seen it before where people should have invested in Amazon or invested in AMD, Nvidia, and they missed out. So the idea is that if it makes sense, go do it. Take all the information. You don't have to take my word for it. But the idea is we want to develop the Aboriginal mindset. And we want to improve our situation. We want to improve our family situation so that we find ourselves, being on a better path moving forward, right? So if there's, I'll open the floor for questions. If there's anything specific that y'all want me to answer, be happy to do that. Otherwise, if there's no questions after 1 minute or 2 minutes, then I'll shut it down. But y'all know that y'all can always reach out to us, and we'll be happy to serve y'all. We'll be happy to help y'all. So that's the whole point. I don't see any questions in the chat. So on that note, family, again, share this video, and we will see y'all probably either in person. Oh yeah, hopefully y'all been doing y'all's rites of passage. Be sure to do your rites of passage. Do your PT test. Hopefully you submitted that. Hopefully this week. Make sure you're doing it fast. Submit that stuff. ARNAgovernment.org. Make sure you're doing that stuff. Because that's important. Okay, y'all. So on that note, family, we'll see y'all either for the next class or our live class. So peace and stay prepared. All right. Peace.